Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Good day. Today we come up to the 7th chapters. It's about the 5 techniques, Chinese cultural 5 techniques, right? The 7 chapters. And you may be knowing that the Chinese 5 cultural 5 techniques. They're the mountains, they're the medicine, they are the faith, and they are the judgment, and also they are the appearance. We call the face reading. Okay. So now today we come up to the 7 chapters. We concentrate into the judgment. We call it judgment. Now, judgment itself is quite a unique technique of China, and you seldom find it in other countries, both in the ancient time and the modern time, because it's originated from ancestor in a long time ago in a dynasty called Xiang dynasty, which is before the Zhou dynasty, which is around 3,000 and something years from now. So why is it originated in Shang dynasty? Well, at that time the people, after some discovery, you find that the people at that time, they always decided matters through asking some supernatural power. How do they ask them? They will play and they ask for the result, and the result is will then be written down in a tortoise shell. They burn the tortoise shell and they put some sculpture and the words on the shell, and they record the result, and the result of the record will be used to lead their decision in later matters. It is the most ancient history. However, from the Zhou dynasty, as the Chinese culture has developed quite a bit, there is a very important complication. Of course, they don't formally publish it, but they have written down it and make a classics called I Ching. As we have introduced again before, right? I Ching读本. This is written by Professor Kok Jian-kun. This book is the most important book in Chinese culture, and it was ranked the first classics in Han Dynasty. The reason why, because it is formulated in Zhou Dynasty. In Zhou Dynasty, we last for almost 300 years, and in the later half of Zhou Dynasty, as the dynasty power, the emperor power, has been decreasing, and there's some increasing influence from the local government, so that at that time people, they've written down some of the words, and they rely very much on I Ching to decide on the matters. It itself is a classic. It has 64 categories, and the details of it was written down by the founders of the Zhou dynasty. And then later on, it was elaborated by their prime minister. They call it Zhou Gong. And then later on, and this classic has been widely read and widely recognized and widely relied on by people afterwards, from the Zhou dynasty down to the present. So as we mentioned, we need some solid knowledge in delivering our fortune telling, and in conducting our faith counseling, and it is one of the knowledge that is essential, and it is a required thing for every faith counselor and fortune teller. I Ching. Of course, as I say, it is difficult. It was written in ancient classics with old styles, expression and words, and therefore, if you want to get an English translation, then you may go to some portal to get the translated version. However, it will be difficult because in English translation of it may not really explains the meaning of the classic. So if you can get somebody who knows Chinese, particularly ancient Chinese, it will be helpful. So the judgment depends on the knowledge of I Ching. And another one is the power, the superpower. How you get the result from I Ching. You get the result of I Ching, you have to rely on your faith, on your own God. Everybody may have a God of his own. No matter you talk about Confucius, you talk about Buddha, you talk about the Taoists, even Jesus. No matter who is, then you got somebody to rely on, so that you talk to him and you beg him for his direction, and to get the choice from the I Ching, and then based on your own knowledge, you explain the I Ching to your clients. That is the judgment. Okay, so it will sound a little bit difficult, as I know, particularly for non-Chinese speaking people, but simply remember that judgment make use of the classic called I Ching, and later on we will find chance to elaborate and explain to you more, so as to facilitate your thorough understanding. Okay, thank you very much for watching this time, and I'll see you next time for another topics. Thank you.